Scorpio, and welcome to your timeless and monthly relationship profile reading. This is the Dream Medium. Welcome to my channel. So, in this reading, you will be getting a, a past, present, and future spread about what is happening between you and your love interest. Past, present, and future spread for Scorpio and their love interest. Past, present, and future spread. Scorpio and their love interest. All right. Okay, so the top three cards represents what happens in the past. Bottom three cards represents what's happening presently, and over here to the side is your future spread, which we will discuss once we're done with your past and your present. So starting with your past, what happens in the past between you and your love interest, Scorpio? You have the Hangman, the Sun card, and the Justice card. Clarify the Hangman. Two of Wands. Clarify the Hangman. The Chariot. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing some stubbornness happening here, Scorpio, with your love interest, because the Hangman is a person who is at a standstill. They're not taking action. They're really not even making a decision. This is someone who is completely just, I just feel like in the past your love interest was restless when it came to this situation, not even knowing what to think, what to do. This person, I just feel like they were so caught up in the moment. They were so, I feel like they just felt burdened with the situation, and the fact that they were not getting a positive outcome with you was what was really just making them feel very restless. I'm trying to figure out a way to really get you to understand how this person was feeling towards you in the past, but it's like they just felt overconsumed, with this situation. Like they had done everything that they could and they didn't know what else could be done, to turn a negative situation into something positive. Hope that makes sense. So in clarity of the Hangman, you do have the Two of Wands. I do feel like because they didn't make any decisions about you in the past, the situation was still in a way dragged on. It was still prolonged because of their inability to make a decision and stick to it. As in, like, I feel like this person didn't communicate, neither did you. The both of you were at a standstill, but it's like this situation was still very heavily on your mind as well as their mind. And so this is them feeling conflicted even more. They felt like maybe this is something that they should just, like, in the past, I feel like they left this situation alone, hoping that with time things would get better. But things just got worse because they ended up being unable to let this situation go. They ended up being unable to stop thinking about you. Next, you have the Chariot. So the Chariot is really my action card. I do feel like this didn't happen though until they were forced to come towards you. They were trying to persuade themselves that by leaving this situation alone, they would get over it. But due to their confliction, because this is something that grew even more heavily on their minds. So with time, things didn't get better. With time, they actually felt even more exhausted. And so the Chariot is saying that they were sort of forced or pushed to make a decision about this situation instead of just ignoring it and hoping that it'll go away, which it didn't. Let's look at the Sun card. So you have the Two of Pentacles. Give me one more clarity. You have the Star card. So the Sun card is exactly what you think it is. I mean, just looking at this is all about happiness and fulfillment. In clarity of the Sun card, you do have the Two of Pentacles. So I do feel like with the Chariot here later on, like I said, they were sort of forced to confront this situation instead of ignoring it and thinking that everything will be better without them really putting in work. And so with the Sun card here, I do feel like they ended up coming back to you, but they didn't come back to you like, forcing a relationship with you again. It's more so that they sort of initiated communication with you, which brought them a lot of happiness. And so, just to clarify and make sure that you guys are understanding what I'm saying, it's like in the past, they became restless towards this situation and they felt like by leaving the situation alone and moving forward without you that it would be easier, but they found out that it wasn't, because the harder they try to let you go, it's like the more conflicted they became. And so they were forced to follow their heart and come back to you. So I do feel like in the recent past, Scorpio, they did initiate communication with you, or they like did they there was an initiation where they're wanting a reunion but they're too afraid to come out and be, straightforward with their intentions. But just that slight, I feel like the initiation was something that was so like subtle, but it meant so much to them, whether that's them, following up with you, checking up on you on social media, or, giving you a phone call or a text. It's little, it's small, but it really brought them this fulfillment. And it just pretty much it represents that at the end of the day, the heart wants what it wants, and you can't just ignore your heart thinking that it's easier to walk away from a person that you love, because you'll always come back to them. In clarity of the Sun card, you do have the Two of Pentacles. So this is indecision, this is juggling. I do feel like the indecision here, while they do know that they want to be with you and they want to work things out with you, the indecision here is that they're still holding on to what happened in the past. And that's what's making them fear that perhaps nothing will change this time around if the two of you were to give this connection a second try. So they're torn between, should I, just continue to move on without my Scorpio, or should I try to give this a second chance, but what if what happens in the past happens again? So they're overcomplicating this, and it's really making them feel down. I feel like your person is in a state where or recently they were in a state where their entire mood, like if they were just in like this gloomy mood because their heart is calling out for this connection, but it's the fear that's holding them back from going forward with you. Another clarity card that came out for that Sun card is the Star card. So, it's like I keep on saying, the more they try to move on from you, the more they want you. So the Star card is saying that this person is incredibly passionate for you, and they do have a positive outlook, but I just feel like they don't want to get hurt again, and they're afraid of investing their time and work and love into this situation and still not getting the outcome that they want with you, similar to what happened in the past. So let's talk about this Justice card. Clarify the Justice. Knight of Swords. Nine of Swords. Let's see what's going on here. So the Justice card is really all about restoring balance, bringing fairness back to the situation. In clarity of the Justice, you do have the Knight of Swords. Now, I am feeling like this justice energy is coming from the both of you. It's coming from your love interest, Scorpio, because they feel like they didn't get what they really wanted with you. It's like there's a lot of regrets here with this person. Your person sees the immense amount of potential that you have. They see the value of this connection, but they feel like what makes them feel like it was unfair is that they saw how beautiful this connection could be, but they felt like because of the blockages, they didn't get you. So it's like them feeling like they were cheated. It's like I could have had this with my Scorpio, but because of something blocking us, I wasn't able to get what I wanted or get with my Scorpio. So that's really bringing a lot of passion back to them to fight for what they know they deserve, which is you. So, in clarity of the justice with this Knight of Swords, they're carrying this passion for you, but it's like passion and aggression because they don't want anything else standing in their way this time. And so with the Nine of Swords here, this is pretty much them. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can really explain to you how they've been feeling recently. Um, it's like we could have had it all, but that darn, that just we could have had it all, but because of that blockage that I wasn't able to to overcome, or because of that problem that I wasn't able to resolve, I didn't get to my final destination with my Scorpio. I didn't get the outcome that I wanted. So it's like they're beating themselves up, and they feel like it's a lot of regret, but it's also them feeling like they were weak, feeling like, man, why did I give up so easily? Why did I let those obstacles stand in my way from getting the outcome that I really wanted with my person, with my Scorpio? And I feel like the justice card for you, because like I said, the two of you are sharing this justice energy. I feel like for you, though, you're kind of playing the blame game here, where you're pretty much blaming them for giving up too soon or too easily. The Knight of Swords, you're kind of in a state where if they were to come towards you, you would probably reject them or do something to give them a piece of your mind for hurting you. And even here, the Nine of Swords, you need to confront those feelings, those negative feelings that you have, and try to heal from them so that you can be more understanding towards this person as well, because they're only human. And they did in the past, yes, they gave up, but they felt like they became restless towards the situation. They felt like they had done all that they could have. So the fact that they're wanting to come back and still keep pushing and trying with you, at least give them, some recognition, or give them the opportunity to explain themselves when they come back. So let's see what's happening presently. You do have the Moon card, King of Swords, King of Cups. Excuse me. I thought I was going to sneeze, but then it turned out into a yawn. Excuse me, you guys. Empress. Okay. So, with the Moon card here, the Moon card does represent secrets, but it's more so representing that there's something that the two of you are unaware of. There's something that you're not seeing in this situation, Scorpio. And the fact that the Eight of Cups is coming out is really showing that the two of you are not on the same page. Your perspectives are different. And so, in Clarity of the Moon card with this Eight of Cups, the Eight of Cups does represent that someone here, and I really feel like it's your person. Remember, the energies can be reversed, but I really feel like it's your person where whoever was the partner who left, the Eight of Cups is representing them because the Eight of Cups is a person who's turning their back on everything that they've worked for. And I feel like that's what they did in the past with you. They turned their back on everything that was shared and worked for between the two of you. And so this is the Empress is saying that they left you all by yourself, having to handle the responsibilities that the two of you shared all alone. But you're the Empress, Scorpio, so while it was tough and heartbreaking, you were still able to do what you had to do and take care of your responsibilities. And you were very successful in doing so. But that's where the resentment comes in because it's like, why did you leave me like that? Why did you give up on us? Why were you so quick to leave everything that we had together? And so it's showing here that the resentment is blocking you from seeing things from your partner's perspective, which is that it wasn't easy for them to do this either. It may not have been the right thing for them to do, but it took a lot of courage and bravery for them to walk away as well because they knew that they had put a lot of investments into this situation or this relationship or this connection. So it's like the blame game is going on here from both sides, but especially from your side. And so the moon card is saying that the two of you are just having a hard time with understanding why they had to do certain things and them understanding why you had to do certain things, or how it's like you're having a hard time understanding why they had to leave that way and they're having a hard time understanding why you have that resentment. Clarify the King of Swords, Six of Wands, Page of Cups. So the King of Swords is a very cutting individual. The King of Swords is hurt, and hurt people tend to hurt other people, but it's really that the King of Swords individual is waiting for that person who hurt him to come towards him so that he could give them a piece of his mind. And so this is a person who is not going to tolerate anything because they don't want to get hurt again. In Clarity of the King of Swords, let's talk about the Six of Wands that came out. Now, I do feel like recently, since this is your present spread, recently the two of you there's been a lot of tension because by them coming back, it's forcing you to confront that resentment that you've had towards them, right? Because they left in the past and the way that they left in the past. But the King of Swords is them not willing to tolerate anything that's going to block them from you. So this energy or this attitude that you have towards them, they're not going to tolerate it. They're just going to see it as a blockage. And this is a person who is 100% very passionate and willing to solve or overcome any obstacles that will stand in their way of being with you. So they might come off as very dismissive, where you're trying to show them that what they did was wrong, and they're just sort of dismissing your feelings because they're more focused on reconciling and moving forward with each other, but it's not that easy, you know? Um, so they need to understand where you're coming from, and they need to understand that your feelings are valid as well. So with the Six of Wands, I do feel like this person is kind of they're their intolerance is making them come off as like an a-hole, huh? I'm just being honest, because they're so focused on let's just fix the problem and move forward. But for you, Scorpio, you're like, no, we need to talk about the past because you did this and that, and you need to take accountability. Um, it's like they just don't want to fight anymore. They just want to move forward with you. But, from your perspective, you need to get some things, you want to get some things off your chest that happened in the past. So the Six of Wands is really them seeing this as like, you putting up a fight. But I don't know, from my perspective as the reader, I think they should just be more understanding. It's not as easy to just think that someone's going to forgive and forget what you did to them in the past. Next, you have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, they're seeing this situation right now as a distraction. Like I said, your person, Scorpio, they're so tunnel visioned on moving forward with you that whenever you try to express yourself, they just see it as, oh my gosh, like, let's not focus on that right now. They're seeing it as a distraction, but it's like you need to recognize what you did in the past. So I see that frustration. Clarify the King of Cups, the Hermit. I understand their intention is really to reconcile, but their approach is not the most, they're not being very sensitive towards your feelings right now. So, the King of Cups, I do feel like if they haven't already done this, since this is your present, very soon they will, because they're coming out as this King of Cups. So they're going to give you a really big offer, and it's going to take you off guard, Scorpio, because you're going to be like, no, I don't want that, because let's talk about what you did. Um, I just hope this person recognizes that while their intentions are good, you're going to have to start from scratch because of what you did in the past. So they have to rebuild that trust with you instead of just expecting you to take them back and act like nothing ever happened. So, in clarity of the King of Cups with this Hierophant here, I do see the two of you having a very serious discussion very soon, if it hasn't happened already. Where the only thing that I'll say, especially with this Ace of Wands, is communication is vital in this connection. Because, like I said, remember the Moon card is saying that the two of you have different perspectives. And so now is the time during this discussion, if it hasn't happened already, try to make it happen. Where you let them know, hey, I'm recognizing, your efforts, but you need to recognize where I'm coming from as well. Yes, the two of us want the same thing. We are very focused on overcoming those obstacles to redeem this connection, but hear me out and I'll hear you out as well. So it's like the two of you want the same thing, but your approach is very different. So communication is going to be very important so that they will understand your perspective and you will understand their perspective as well. But I do see major communication coming towards you if it hasn't happened already. So, let's see what's going to happen in your future. Clarify the Ten of Swords. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles. Five of Swords. So, with the temperance being clarified by the King of Wands, I do see in the future you and this person will be working towards something serious. With the temperance, I'm just seeing that you, Scorpio, will want to start things off slow, and that's going to make them upset. I do kind of see them not liking that because, like I said, they're so passionate to just be with you and move forward, but you're just going to be like, hey, you need to give me time. Let's work towards this instead of just jumping into something for another separation to occur. So I do like that approach, but the temperance is saying that a beautiful connection is going to blossom this time around. It's definitely going to be more of a friendship first, and then it's going to lead into something serious, but that's just, I feel like that's important so that they will be able to rebuild your trust once again. Next, you have the Ten of Swords being clarified by the Queen of Swords. So this is like, okay, 10 swords, and then you have swords here. Let's see what's going on. Hmm. Hmm. So I have to be honest with the Ten of Swords. This is the ultimate betrayal, and then you have the Queen of Swords. So this betrayal is not going to be felt by you, Scorpio. It's going to be felt by your person, and it's really because they're going to feel like by you wanting to take things slow, that's going to feel like rejection to them. Um, I also want to point out with the Queen of Swords that this is you still resenting them. Scorpios, if you want this person to be in your life and you want to make this work, then you're going to have, sooner or later, you're going to have to forgive and forget and heal forward. I mean, the Queen of Swords has resentment written all over it, especially if you see that they're trying to rebuild the connection and they're doing the appropriate work and you continue to reject them because you're remembering what they did in the past. That's bringing more blockages into this connection, is it not? So, this is heavy resentment, and it's like you're going to be hurting them to kind of indirectly give them a taste of their own medicine. You even have the Ten of Pentacles here, which is saying that there's so much potential and abundance in this connection. You have 10 Pentacles. This connection has the potential to be something long term, like settling down with each other, marriage, having a family, and that's what they're going to be working towards, but it's like you're going to be rejecting them because you can't seem to let go of what they did in the past, which I understand, but it's like you either choose to move on without them, but if you choose to make this work, then you can't keep on holding their past against them. With the world card here, this is the world card is really confirming that as you try to push forward towards a new beginning with them, it's going to be hard because you're still holding on to things from your past. You're still carrying past baggage, into this connection. That's exactly what the world card is saying. A person who's not moving forward towards their new beginning. Next, you have the Knight of Pentacles being clarified by the Five of Swords. So, really, what I'm seeing here with the Knight of Pentacles, um, I do see a new person coming in. I'm not gonna lie. Ace of Pentacles. Wait a second. This is not a new person. This is them. Hold on. Who is this? I'm like, Five of Cups. This is a new person. This is a new person with the Knight of Pentacles who's going to come in and I do see you being pretty conflicted once this new person comes in because you're already resenting your old person. Um, in clarity of the Knight of Pentacles with this Ace of Pentacles here, I do see you rejecting your person for this new. You're going to choose this new person, rejecting your current person. Five of Cups, and they're going to feel like this, crying over spilled milk, feeling like they've lost an opportunity with you. It's going to hurt them a lot, but I do feel like the cycle is going to start over because then they will start resenting you. This is a mess. This is a mess. Scorpio. I'll tell you now that you see what's going to happen, it could be avoided. Um, my advice to you is to start your healing process now because you're currently manifesting your person. But if you're manifesting and you're not doing the appropriate work, when that manifestation happens and your person comes in, then you're going to start resenting them. Like, come on, Scorpio. Figure out what you want and try to heal so that when they do come forward, you'll be able to accept this new beginning with them instead of starting the cycle over. Yeah, this is a mess. Okay? I just have to be honest with you, Scorpio. So thank you guys so much, Scorpio. And like I'm saying, I'm not saying that you should or that you're forced to take them back, but what I'm saying is figure out what you want because if you do want them back and they come towards you, then why resent them and push them away and then choose someone else? If what you want is to move forward to someone new, then when they come back, at least you can make it clear to them that you don't want anything romantic, okay? So just figure out what you want because I feel like you're manifesting and that manifestation is going to happen, but then you don't want it to happen during a time that you're not healed and prepared for your person. You get what I'm saying? So, Scorpio, try to, reevaluate the situation and figure out what you want. And once you figure out what you want, work towards that, okay? So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that this helped. Please remember that this is a general reading. So, if you would like a private reading, you're more than welcome to visit my website. On my website, you'll see the variety of private tarot card readings that I offer of all prices. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.